Right now, Angela Romay. Romay, I might be pronouncing that incorrectly. Lead is Giulia Lacidelli. Third, Elena Mathis. And the skip, Stefania Constantini.
I couldn't find any previous history between these two teams, so I do believe this is their first matchup this season. So both teams are introducing themselves, but they are very highly ranked in the World Curling Tour rankings. Team Constantini is ranked 11th and Team Black is ranked 17th, so two very equally ranked teams, pretty close, so we expect an exciting match here.
Just hangs on to the edge of the 12-foot. Angela will be looking for a little bit of a roll in on this one. She hits us on the nose. The shooter will not be in the rings. There's a great roll there. We're going on to third stones here. This is Jen Baxter.
A little panic in the line call there, but they were able to keep it straight enough so they could hang on to the edge of the 12-foot with that hit. Italian team hit and rolled and just hung on at the very back of the house, forcing Team Black to make a play on it.
Both teams just hanging on around that 12-foot. Swing for line. It's hard to stick around on these back 12-foot hits. Really nicely done by Jen. It's funny, we have about an extra 6 feet of distance for the rocks to curl, and so often you'll give the same amount of ice for those back 12 hits as you will for the top 12, and there's a lot of extra curl that happens at the end of the stone's path. Good throw. Nice one there from Elena. On to skip stones. Not a lot of strategy as we go through this end, like we said earlier. Just settling. Calling for the sweep, but then a clean, nice throw there from Christina Black. Sitting the single with yellow rocks. And we'll see the first shot here from the Italian skip, Stefania Constantini. She's reliably worn a puffer jacket all week. I think it's a little chilly out there.
All week, I've commentated. This is my second game commentating against that, or with that team, against that team, and I've watched her play, and I've noticed her routine when she goes in the hack is very precise. You know, the jacket comes off, she puts on both mitts, she lifts the rock, then the left hand comes off, mitt comes off, cleans the rock, then the glove goes on, then the throwing glove comes off. It's to a T. She does that the exact same time everywhere, and it just shows, you know, whatever your routine is, you need to do it every single time exactly the way it is.
And we asked the teams if they have any superstitions. Both teams said no for things like that.
Yeah. Being an athlete myself, all athletes have superstitions. they just don't mention it. Yeah.
Consistency is key, though. If you do the
Yes.
same thing every shot, you throw your shot the same. It reminds you to do your nice slide and your nice release. Some of us are as bold as to ask our front end players to remind us to have a great release every
Yes.
time. But it works.
Here comes Christina's last rock. She's looking to hit and stick here and make Stefania execute her final rock for a potential blank. Good throw. Jen Baxter just keeping it clean all the way down. Now they ask for a little bit of carving, but
They wanted to stick around, not because it's terribly important for their own gameplay, but because it would not give Stefania the chance to throw a free draw. Or a free throw, sorry. My brain is fuzz. Free throw through the rings at a path of their choosing. So they're choosing to throw up close to the center line, just watching the curl across the center.
so it's
Swing
very
to the winds.
So it's very important for curlers out there. They're not, even though they're just throwing this through, the team is actually not throwing it through. They've thought about a spot in the ice that you'd like to test with a certain weight so they can see how it tracks. So just throwing it through is not the full intent there. They're actually trying to get some information through that shot. So well done with Team Italy to take advantage of that opportunity.
So no score as we round out the first end of play in the Black Constantini game. In the men's division, there are also 2 quarterfinals on the go. We mentioned in the women's the Jones-Grandy quarterfinals being played, but in the men's division, the teams that are through to the semifinals are Aslan and Muybrook. And out there on the sheet tonight in the quarterfinals, it's Epping and Fournier. Winner of that will meet Muybrook in the semifinals tomorrow morning. And in our other quarterfinal matchup, it is Manuel versus Purcell. The winner of that will face Aslan tomorrow morning. No scores yet. We are the first team to hit the second end, so we'll keep you updated as we can. And, of course, check on stewcurls.com and curlingzone.com.
We'd also like to thank our partner sponsors for the Stu Sells 1824 Halifax Classic. We have Murphy Hospitality Group, the Prince Edward Island Brewing Company, Crombie Reed, Scotia Square, and the Curling Store. So thank you to all those companies and organizations that sponsor this event. Without their support, these events are not possible. So it's greatly, greatly appreciated for all that they do for our great sport of curling.
A little bit of different strategy here for Team Constantini, the team with Hammer. Team Black getting Shelley Barker to put the first one in the rings. And this is Julia Laccidelli, corner guard. Julia holds the broom for Stefania when she throws. A little bit of a different, not a different throwing order for this team, but sometimes you'll have a different player holding the broom. Same thing on Team Black. Carly Everest II holds the broom for Christina.
So Team Black's throwing up the center guard on their rock this in the 4 foot. They're haven't put a broom down. Looks a little warm, so I think this rock will be coming into the rings.
A little heavy there from Shelley. They would have liked that to sit on top. When you don't have hammer, you'd like your stones to be stacked on the center line. And Stefania knowing that the 5 rock rule is in play, so if she makes this hit, the guard can't be peeled. It sees an opportunity to remove the yellow counters in the 4 foot. No question there. Sits a single in the top 4. Christina's going to be aware of that corner guard, though. Usually you won't see a team without hammer playing the role behind the corner just yet. I'm going to keep the play to the open side. Look for a miss.
Exactly. You know, it's just important that Team Black hits and sticks here, so that you know, try to keep Team Italy away from that corner guard if possible. Just about as good as they can do to stay in the rings. Absolutely. Did roll too far or much further than they wanted to, so now that brings that corner guard into play, and as we see, Team Italy is ignoring the yellow rock in the house and is going to take advantage of their corner guard.
And the ideal position for this, Kevin, would you say is top 8 foot, close to top 4 foot distance?
Yeah, top 8 foot would be perfectly ideal, especially with the amount of curl here. You can definitely fully bury a rock with a tight guard like that and still be in the top 8 foot. It just shrinks the if Team Black tries to do a corner freeze, it just makes it so much more a smaller area to draw to.
Sweepers didn't want to touch it the whole way down until the end when they can get a little finish, but that one will go pretty deep to the back 12.
Yeah, both teams are still trying to figure out the draw weight here. That's one of the downsides to having an end where you're just playing hit after hit after hit after hit. You don't quite get a feel for the draw weight, so now they have to make the adjustments.
Going to happen in the second end. We'll see if Carly Everest can better that stone. They'd like the freeze right onto the red stone in the back.
We're not short on weight here, so they're just trying to get some curl out of this.
Couple of feet heavy, just won't quite take the curl as early.
Yeah, and also possibly just a little bit too much broom. Like even though it's a couple feet heavy, it should have curled a little bit further with what they were expecting.
Once it moves really nicely. We've been seeing this sheet today. We'll have to see. I did a couple games earlier, and the this side of the sheet that's being thrown on, but wider out, was really quick. Not the case here in the center of the sheet, but had beautiful ice conditions. Just a couple spots you got to pay attention to. The Yellowstone is shot, even though it bounced off. And just another draw call here. Wanted that one to stop a couple feet higher. And it might be visible.
Looks like it's probably about half exposed. Half a rock is exposed. After this event is over, these two teams will be making a drive down the highway for about an hour and a half to 2 hours to Pictou County for the Grand Slam of Curling, the Coyote National. Both teams qualifying for that event, which is a great honor. And this will be, I believe, Team Black's first qualifying for a Tier 1 Grand Slam event.
You're right. They played in the Tier 2 earlier this year.
Yes.
In Niagara. It's nice to see a lot of good curling in Nova Scotia. And I just saw today that in Pictou County, the arena ice, the flood was done and the rings were down. They're getting ready to put all the carpets down. So it's looking good for a great weekend. That one there from Jen, just over curling, ticking the guard. So shot stone's open for Constantini. They're considering playing around the guard. I like the open play. I think if you play open and draw the play away from that guard, you can maybe bring that back 12-foot red in. But if this one's not buried, there could be some sort of play around the guard for Team Black. They're going for the come around though. Didn't quite get that one buried. Looks stacked on top of the other red. Although the double would jam on the yellow stones if you play it across the face, or sorry, into on the center line side. Across the face might go though.
It might go. I'm not sure if there's enough room with the weight they want to play to get across the face enough, but it'd be very close though. But you will be flirting with playing with that guard to make that shot.
Just gets the one.
Elena's looking to replace the stone that she'd put up. Maybe try to get a little bit more curl underneath the corner guard.
Line's looking a little better. Just curled a tiny bit more.
I think Christina's just looking at playing the hit and roll off the top one and not attempting the double at all, which is probably the right call here. Any attempt at the double, I would assume, is just that second rock is just going to jam at the back onto the yellow one. Team Constantini put that rock in a great spot to make it difficult for Team Black to get rid of both of them.
A little bit of a down weight, trying to keep the shooter around. This one's really curling. There we see the jam on the yellow. So 3 reds still in the rings. And red shot stone. Christina wanted to roll her shooter to shot position.
I believe red is lying first and second stone.
Oh, first and second.
Yes.
So they can just ignore it.
They can ignore it, and I'm not sure, it's very difficult rock to play on with all the red rocks behind it, so I don't think they have any choice but to ignore it and try to lie a third stone somewhere.
Just talking about where they have to put the broom for the draw path, just to go not for a draw to the button, but you'll adjust off your draw to the button for a draw to the wings. Has to be full 8 foot, maybe a little bit into the 8. To sit 3. Angela warming up the path. You see her go down. This will be one of the first stones, if not the first stone, to travel this path. So it might be a little bit slower than the other draws, especially the draw to the button path that's been warmed up in practice.
And that's one of the important roles that maybe a lot of people don't understand. At the front end, it's very important for them to see what parts of the ice have been used and to keep track of that. And so great job for Angela Ramai to realize that that might be a fresh path and to give it a good sweep to help pick up any frost that might still be there.
Let's see if Stefania can put this in the 8 foot. She'll probably leave a double regardless of what she does, but the chance for scoring 2 or potentially 3 is very good at this point. Didn't break as hard as maybe they would have thought. Looks like it's a little bit heavy.
It's curling well at the end here right now.
Great, great judge there.
So Christina has, she could play the double, she could play the hit and roll, she could do the draw tap on her yellow one, straight back as well for shot rock. So she has some options here. Or she could straight freeze, as she mentioned. So she has 4 options now.
No double, but she can probably get pick it out for 3 or 4.
They seem to be favoring this come around, I think just because there's protection. If they can get a piece buried around that top 8 foot stone, the yellow, they're probably limiting to 2 maximum.
I think they've changed their focus to the hit and roll now. Playing the freeze is a great call because they have attempted to freeze to that area, so they do know the broom and the weight for it.
I guess if the freeze isn't made perfect, it could be 3. It's just picked out.
Yes.
So switch into the hit. More conservative of the calls. Almost said first end. It's the second end. We had a blank in the first.
I think I have to do the hit and roll. If they had came a little further, then I could have froze and been
So there you see the rationale. Christina just feels like she has to limit their scoring ability.
I don't disagree with this call. It is still very early in the game. You don't have to force the issue. But still, whatever call that the team makes, it's obviously very important that they execute and make it properly. Little full out of her hand, it looks like. We hear whoa and yes, and what a great throw. That was a great result.
Sometimes I like when I hear the person in the house and the skip disagreeing, because at least that it's close.
You know it's close, exactly. Yeah. If they're reading it the same way.
And who are the sweepers supposed to listen to?
The great question. We keep telling them, we keep saying you should always listen to the person in the house, but sometimes it's the person that yells the loudest too.
You can't always ignore. If your skip's the one throwing and they call the line for 6 shots, you're supposed to listen to the person in the rings, but it's so tempting to listen to your skipper.
But these 4 ladies have been together for a long time, so they've been in this situation before where both were calling maybe different yes and no's, but through experience they've worked out who they need to listen to.
So Stefania throwing this with pretty good weight, try and ricochet off the back red for the 2. If she hits it thin, I think it's only good for a single.
Yeah, I think she has to hit it fairly close to the nose, maybe a bit high side, and stick right there and have the yellow rock go over top of the other red one to the edge of the 12th to counter deuce.
Just talking about the broom to take. I'm assuming she's throwing her out turn.
Just an interesting observation. She went down without a broom to show the broom. Most players bring their broom with them when they go down, so that's just something interesting that I've observed with her.
Last rock of the second end, looking for close to a nose hit for the 2 points for Constantini. Looks good.
Job well done.
Good for 2. So they'll take a 2-0 lead over Team Black after 2 ends of play here in the quarterfinals at the 2023 Stu Sells 1824 Halifax Classic. And Kevin, why is it the 1824 Halifax Classic?
1824 is not only the way we name our sheets, 1824, but it's the year that this club was founded. So we are embarking on our 200th anniversary next year, and I'm looking forward to the upcoming festivities.
That'll be fantastic. Just next year, imagine.
Just next year. Absolutely. We'll do a quick little update with the other sheets. They're just finishing up their second end, but on sheet 1 between Team Jones, skipped by Chelsea Carey, they are up 2-0 against Team Clancy Grandy from BC. On sheet 8, Team Purcell is down 1-0 to Team Manuel. Both teams are local here from the Halifax Curling Club. And on sheet 4, John Epping from Ontario is up 2-0 after the first end against Mike Forney, also from Ontario.
I thought Mike was skipping out of Quebec.
He used to.
Ontario now? Huh?
Yeah. He moved to Toronto, I believe, 2 years ago. He has been out of Quebec and represented Quebec at the Brier many years. And yeah, he is now an Ontario resident.
News to me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Lives in Toronto, and I'm not sure where the rest of his teammates from or what club they curl out of. Obviously, we didn't do our homework, but it is not the game we're calling. But yes, Mike is now a representative of Ontario. So with the 2-0 lead, Team Constantini put their first rock into the top of the rings. And similar to last end's play, Team Black is going to counter with a corner guard.
I love a good corner guard. It's nice to see them. We didn't go over the rules of play, but most of you know if you've been following along. It's 8 ends of play in this tournament, playing with the 5-rock rule for the free guard zone, along with the no-tick zone within those first 5 rocks. If your stone's on the center line, the opponent can't tick it off the center line. Or if they do, the non-offending team gets to decide if it stays or goes.
Even if it's accidental. Oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. It still has to go back.
I think that's been one of the more interesting things because there's a lot of accidental ticks that happen. And
Yes.
so I find teams are maybe playing with a little bit more ice for these come-arounds.
And these ice conditions are spectacular. You're looking at 4.5 to 5 feet of curl. So you don't want to be cutting the guards very tightly because you will easily overcurl and go into the open side. So so the ice conditions definitely help the not being offended by the or being be hindered by the no tick rule.
They got that one by. A little strong. It's going to tick the red out in the open, but works all right.
She just slid tight, so I had to get by the guard. 14.
Christina Black always explains. Always. No question over what her rationale was. She always tells her sweepers so they know.
She has so much passion for this game. I've invited her to be one of our high performance consultants with our junior program this in September, and she instantly replied yes, and she was so great with the kids. Her enthusiasm for the game is just infectious. She was a wonderful mentor for our young kids.
That's so great to hear. It's nice as some of you don't know that Kevin Ouellette has taken on the role with Nova Scotia Curling Association. So you're bringing up the up-and-comers.
I'm working on it. Yes, yeah, with the help of many other coaches and consultants and performance science experts. Lots of people involved. The associations, the province, Canadian Sport Institute Atlantic. Many people involved to help prepare these young athletes for now and for the future.
Once it's so hard, you curl to maintain the line, and once it's gone, then you want to like, oh shoot, I shouldn't have swept it. We should have called the curl. Kind of stuck in the middle on that one for Carly. I think Stefania would like Angela to roll back toward the center line on this one.
It'll be interesting to see what Christina is going to do here, because that rock in the top 12 foot could be used as a guard.
With the big roll.
Same weight.
There's another one caught in the middle.
Absolutely. I either wanted to roll less or more. And I have skipped and you skip all the time, and it's always frustrating trying to decide, do I go or do I not go when you're caught in the middle.
You only have about 10 seconds to decide.
Exactly.
Not a long time.
And if you take longer than that, you're not going to make the proper roll.
Especially if a rock is taking off more than you expected. Like if you feel like the throw was good and the sweepers say that the weight was good and it's curling more than you expected, if you let it go, you're worried you're going to miss the rock to some extent if it's curling more than you expect. So you kind of want to keep on it just to make sure you don't roll out and then you don't get the roll that you wanted. And it's just frustrating overall.
Yep, been there, done that.
but a couple guards in play. Team Black with last rock. They just want to keep their shooter in play on this, and they still have the center guard and the corner guard to use. The rock's behind the tee line at this point, though, so they won't want to roll too far.
Nice throw.
Just a bit of a roll. Notice throughout the week here too, Kevin, that the teams are really lowering the weight at the first couple days, first couple draws. We were seeing a lot more 9 to 9.5 second hog to hog times, and now we're seeing a heck of a lot more 10.5s, control weight, or even board and hack, just to have a lot more control of the path of the stone.
Absolutely. They, as we talked about the ice conditions being, very, very nice, it's very, very similar to arena ice. So any up weight, the rocks run very, very straight. So if you're looking to have any curl, weight control is so important. So those light takeout weights, as you're talking about, just through the rings, hack weight, board weight, those become so important to get the curl that you're looking for to make the rolls. And so, it's, the team that can control that weight the best is going to have the best outcomes of their shots.
Looking for that same Jen threw, I think, 10.6 on the last shot, so it'll be predictable if she can throw the same here for Christina on the sweep. They don't need to roll very far. So close to perfect, maybe a half rock too far.
Yeah, just slight bit too far, but what it does do is also changes the path. And so if they haven't thrown this before, there might be a little bit of a guess as to what they need to throw to make their shot.
And we're on to skip stones. Stefania will have her first here in a minute.
With that broom, it looks like she's just going to throw just through weight and tap it just through the rings and stay as close to the nose as possible. She may even be able to get a little flop underneath.
It'd have to be perfect weight for that. It's
oh, absolutely.
see just more than half. Sweeping a curl. Like to keep the shooter around. That was nice control weight from Stefania. Didn't roll more than about a rock. That curled a lot more than I expected.
And it was also more weight than I thought they would be playing in that spot.
Yeah.
Now,
Seen a lot of other rocks track there. Sorry,
yes,
I'm just surprised.
No, absolutely. Now, Christina has two different options with the roll.
Like she can almost get me that guard long enough that I think anywhere I am there, she can pop at me. Whereas like here, I'm safer, but I have.
You hear Christina's thinking she's worried, based on that last shot, that anywhere she rolls behind the center guard would be accessible for Stefania. So looking for the roll behind the red. She doesn't have to roll all the way. Just
the way that red rock is slightly tucked behind the yellow corner. If you can roll edge on edge, that would probably eliminate any run back, and may force Stefania to come around the center guard. And Christina believes that anything buried behind the that center line would be able to be chased and tapped back enough to score 2 points.
Carly's calling for the sweep. Curling a little more than they expect, I think. A lot more than they expected.
Yeah, they called it immediately out of her hand, so I'm not sure if that was, I'm going to say it was probably a release issue or a line issue.
So for Constantini, just need to sit 2 here. You can come around that center guard and be pretty good for a force.
Yeah, she just has to be pretty much anywhere in the house, and it's going to be a force for Team Black. But of course, they're going to want to put it in the best spot possible to make it as hard as possible for Christina to get their one and possibly create a steal out of it.
So you think just touching the button, top 4 foot?
I think that might be a little bit too far because all Christina would have to do is just tap it back a foot to get shot rock. So I'm thinking full 4 foot on the top 4 foot, just fully in is probably the max you would want to go, and then say here Christina try to draw the side of the button.
No big deal. Just do that from 130 feet down the sheet, and you'll win.
That's why they're out there and we're back here.
Perfect. That's why these teams are ranked so highly in the world curling rankings. Play a lot of games on the tour. This one's curling a ton.
And it's a lot heavier in weight than they were hoping for.
So not as difficult a shot. Christina's going to go to the open side, not taking the same path as Stefania.
Now they have thrown draws down here before, which is good, and perchance that Christina is a little heavy, they can use that red rock as backing to secure their 1 point. So they're talking numbers of 4:10 and 4:15 for weight. So that is the split time from the back line to this nearest hog line for Christina's throws. Looking for so that the amount of times that's 4.15 seconds from those 2 points.
Last rock, third end, Christina Black needs full 4 for the single.
They're calling it heavy out of her hand. So this is where they'll try to take advantage of that red rock in the back 4 foot.
This one's really curling too.
But I don't think they're going to need the backing. In the end, it was perfect.
Good reminder. Perfect. Right on the button for Christina. No backing, though.
Yes.
They didn't have the backing.
They didn't have the backing. They didn't need the backing. No, perfect throw by Team Black.
Good for the single. Constantini will take hammer into the 4th end, leading 2-1. And hopefully we have some scores we can report to you on other sheets.
I can go on sheet 1 if you'd like, Selena.
Go for it. I can't see it.
You can't see it. I got a good view. So that's Team Jennifer Jones, skipped by Chelsea Carey. They stole 2 in the second end. So after 2 ends, they are up 4-0 against Clancy Grandy from BC. And next to them on sheet 8, between Owen Purcell and Matt Manuel, both of the Halifax Curling Club, it is all tied after 2 at 1 apiece. And sheet 4, can you see there's a lot of bodies in the way of the scoreboard, so we're going to have to get back to you on that one.
The one I can see. Epping and Fournier. Epping leads 2-1 with hammer after 2.
There you go. Perfect. What a team, eh?
Just a beaut.
I'd like to also remind you guys of our title sponsors. For the women's event, it's Neon Train, and for the men's event, we have Steel Subaru, and then the overall presenting sponsor is Stu Cells. Stuart Sankey, who is Stu Cells, has been a great supporter of the sport of curling. He has his Stu Cells curling series, and we are fortunate to have his series here in Atlantic Canada. The majority of them are in Ontario, Eastern Canada. He has about 8 events right now. So it's great to have Stu on board. He actually made the trip here to join us. So it's great to have Stu in the building. As I say, he supports events. He supports not just men's events, juniors events. He supports a lot of teams. You'll see his logo on a lot of the competing teams. So, big shout out to Stuart Sankey for all that he does for our great game.
Center guard up from Shelley Barker and Julia Leccidelli. Putting this one in the top 4 foot. Sweeper's careful not to carry it behind the tee line. Looks like each team has a preference for side of the sheet. Christina asking Shelley to play the other side. Sweeper's really working to get this one into the rings, into the top 4 foot. Looks like it's going to come up a little light. The top of the house still available for Julia. Waiting for that curl. Starting to move now.
Very good weight control.
What a beautiful shot.
The Italian curling has improved so much over the last few years. They have Team Constantini on the women's side and Team Joel Rotonez on the men's side, winning Grand Slams, doing well at World Championships, and Stefania herself here winning the Olympic gold medal at the latest Olympics in the mixed doubles discipline. So kudos to that country for all the hard effort they've been putting in the sport of curling.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Rotornez. I saw the team earlier today. They're getting ready for the slam in Pictou County. Here to cheer on the team.
Yeah, they were gracious enough to come in and say hi to everybody. So it was great to see them here.
This one a bit strong. Needed to make contact to stick around, but that one will slide almost all the way through, just biting the back 12. Not a useful stone for Team Black, unfortunately.
No, that's helping Team Constantini. It's going to be difficult to get rid of those red rocks with that yellow rock at the very back.
See if Angela Romay can lay one right on top. Looks good to me.
Yeah, the Italians are putting the rocks exactly where they asked for them, and it is now creating a potential problem for Team Black. It is now time to go on the defensive mode and try to clean things up, so the amount of scoring is not too great.
Correct, and they don't want to remove their center guard because that's the one rock that's probably helping them keep the score down this end.
Probably just like a 10, because none of them are leaving the house anyway, so it's important to just get this guy to stay there.
Good thinking from Christina, though.
Exactly.
Knowing there's a jam at the back, just
Exactly.
spread them out.
There is still 5 rocks to come for Team Black, so there's a lot of opportunities to help clean up this this situation that they're in, and minimize the damage that could potentially happen.
Want to hit it high side. Keep the yellow.
Like expected, we never none of the red rocks left the house, and the one did jam at the back. But now it's a lot more open and accessible to use that center guard that they have up.
Team Constantini, they just, it's good for them to see a lot of red in the rings. They're trying to get some separation. They know that center guard's there and they might have to deal with it, but these rocks that hang around the 12 foot, they can come back and help you.
Depending on which team you're on, they can come back and hurt you too.
If it's your color. They weren't looking for the roll under, so I think they're looking for the roll away. Christina's okay with that because it's playing to the center guard area. I don't think it would be so bad to hit the top 8-foot stone either on this raise and roll the shooter in front of the shot 4-foot stone. But she's called the straight back. Hair hive nose.
Yeah, the straight back is probably the best outcome. She would be probably shot rock with a guard on it, and there's a very good chance that she takes out another red one at the very back to help eliminate some of the stones.
Just over curled, but we'll lose the red out the back. Still a yellow stone, just tight. Stefania is ignoring it though, just calling the draw. And we'll get a staggered situation. This is aggressive, I'd say.
It is aggressive, but you know what? It's not. That is part of their game plan. I've watched quite a few games, and they are not shy on having rocks in play. But I think they actually are
they
playing
did
the
call
hit.
the hit.
Yeah.
Just because she moved her broom, I thought, well, that's really wide for the made it perfect. Sitting 4. I assumed that would be the call. I was surprised with the draw.
For our fans out there, we cannot hear Team Italy's mics at this moment, so we're not sure what they're saying. Plus, they're speaking in Italian, and my Italian is not very good.
I know when Stefania wants them to not sweep. Arriva.
There you go.
It's the one thing I understand. E linea. So those 2 center guards. Christina's called for Jen to throw a draw. This one's taking off though. Just a bit light.
No, I don't like that rock, honestly. I think it's maybe that rock or something. One of the rocks.
So they are questioning a rock, which does happen.
She was well out there.
It's decision time for Stefania and the team. Because the yellows are not not helping them if there is a yellow that Christine is able to put into the 4 foot. Seems all peachy when you're sitting 4 or 3, I guess. No, 4.
They're sitting 4, yeah. Now that yellow rock that is very tight to the rings that they just threw, you know, Team Black can definitely use that to their advantage. I don't think Team Italy likes that rock, but it's a very difficult rock to remove without leaving their red rock there and act as a guard for Team Black. So,
and it's hard to put a rock in the rings that doesn't leave Team Black something to play off of as well.
exactly.
I like the double they're calling. There might be a jam on the side red. I think it's nice to not have those yellows tight to the rings. I think that's what they're ending up calling, or are they just making the play on the center line one?
I think they are playing. Oh, good question. They're really lining up that rock. That's also a very difficult shot to, you know, there is a hole there for the rock to go through, but you have to hit it absolutely perfect. Or they're either playing the double and having it go over top of the other red ones out through the side.
So if Lena's throwing an out turn, she's hitting the 2 yellows. If it's an in turn, just the 1 on the center line. Looks like an out turn, so the double. I like this one. This would be my preferred, but they're aware of the jam.
She is throwing the out turn, so we're looking at the double. Got the
Jam's
jam.
there, enough spin. Look at this.
And they have swept it back far enough.
Great shot.
This way almost now, huh? I could come this way to the back floor.
Christina's looking at a draw. The hit and rolls there. I find those so tough to make the perfect roll.
Back here.
The out turn draws there though with a little bit of backing. She's looking at the in turn side. But she's drawing around a stone that's top 8 foot.
Try and get them to carve it to, like, I think I can get over there, like over here.
Wants to get it fully buried around that rock in the top 8.
And if they throw the right weight here with the right broom, that rock will go to the back 4 foot. Half of the back 4 foot will be fully buried and shot rock, making a difficult play for Team Constantini to try to remove.
On to skip stones in the 4th end of this quarterfinal on the women's side. Bit of trouble for Team Black, but can Christina make this draw and put the pressure on?
Weight's looking really good here. They've been off and on. Now they're bringing it at the end. Now they've asked for the curl to bring it back. As far as it go, Shelly Barker giving it everything she can.
I think it does need to curl a lot.
I think a foot more weight and that would be buried, hey?
Absolutely. If they had it to the back 4 foot, half in the back 4 foot, like we talked about, that would have been fully buried in a very difficult shot. Stefania would probably have to just come down and play the freeze to it. Now she can chase it, but there are 2 rocks in the back of the 12 foot that could come into play.
I think you can see about half that stone from the hack, which would be enough to move it. I think they're happy if they sit 3. They'd love to sit 4, but if it jams, it's okay.
I think it'd be difficult to lie 4 with the way those rocks are in the back. For her to punch that yellow one out past the other yellow her shooter will probably roll too far.
Freeze or tap?
That part of Italian I understood. Freeze.
I think that's curling lingo.
Absolutely. Many years ago, I did work in Switzerland and had the ability to do some curling. And yes, there was a lot of English terms for different shots. You know, like freeze and take out. They use the English words and not the German words.
I think you just, if you're going to play the freeze or you're going to play the tap, whichever one, I think you have to just commit to the shot as well, because the in-betweens are where you get caught. You don't want to set up a pocket for the red stones. If you throw the freeze, but you're a little heavy and you just wick off, it's a beautiful pocket for Christina to draw to. So it looks like they're playing this with a tap weight.
Yeah.
It's the ice. It's less than, much less than the
Yeah.
draw, and just move it out of the 4-foot. Doesn't have to get out of the rings, like we said.
So it's important that they're not lying 4 after this, but to hit this yellow rock as much as they can and push it back so they're lying 3, and make it very difficult for Christina to try and put another rock in there.
And risky.
And risky at the same time, yes.
No mi piace. Sì.
It's so tempting when you can see a shot where you can, lie more than you're hoping for. But like one of those 7 deadly sins, greed, it can really bite you the wrong way afterwards.
This is why we remind people that the score isn't taken after this shot. It's taken
Exactly.
after the last rock.
Exactly.
This is looking close.
Sì. Devi andare, sì. Sì, fortissimo.
Hard for line.
This is close to their top one, and they just rubbed the top.
Good effort. I think that was just a bit of a miss on the line call. They weren't too worried about it halfway down the sheet. Great weight. So opportunity.
Well, no, because she could probably go, you know what I mean? So I could come like here, or I could do like this.
Christina very aware that with big weight there could be a double if she tries to freeze on her own.
If she freezes where she is and she is 3rd shot rock, I would expect Stefania to play the double off of her own red one
Let me just think. Yeah, that's
on the side of the 8-foot onto the yellow one for a potential score of 2 points.
So she's saying top 4-foot, but not button for weight. So small margin of error on this, but only 2 feet less than she just threw. Same path.
try and half touch. He can't come to
I would say ideally that the tolerance on this shot is probably to be lighter, maybe corner freeze to the top red as opposed to coming too heavy and coming to rest on top of their yellow stone.
Yeah, there's a couple less, hey? Because if you don't have to sweep it so much, it should stop, right? Important to carve in over that, slightly over the line than the guy we have in there. Or more, yeah.
This is good communication for the sweepers to know. They need to know where the rock needs to end up.
Quite a bit less, yeah.
Sweeper's calling a 3-4, which would be light. Now a 5, top 8.
She's calling for curl.
Good for 3rd shot, but way out in the open. So Stefania nose doubles there.
Nose double is there, and depending on the action off of that second yellow stone, we'll see what happens in the back.
Could be for as many as 4, Kevin, right?
Could be as many as 4. Looks difficult here. Looks like it's going to jam at the back, so it'd be for 3. However, our view on the camera with the camera is not always perfect.
I think they'd take a 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fourth end, last rock. Stefania Constantini with a double for a pile. Looks like it's over curling already. Got to get it held on the line. And big change in what we expected there. It's going to be a steal of 1 for Team Black. Looked like that was tight out of her hand. And
it does. Those last 2 shots, Team Italy will not be happy with those results. They controlled this entire end and let one slip away for a multiple point end.
Tie game. Unexpected tie game. 2-2 in this quarterfinal at the halfway point of the 2023 Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic at the Halifax Curling Club. There's a lot of people upstairs watching, but if you're at home and you are available in Halifax tomorrow, the semifinals are at 10 a.m. The finals are at 2. Free admission.
Exactly. We're located in south end of Halifax. Address is 948 South Bland Street. So come on by, bring the kids, see some exciting curling, world-class curling. You know, get some autographs if you like. You know, they're very approachable, very friendly, and come on down, support. You know, bar is open, food's available, lots of activities going on.
There might even be tickets left for the semifinal brunch tomorrow.
That's right, there is the semifinal brunch.
Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you send a message, it'll be answered. Reach out to the club for any information you need.
And even the webpage, I believe, has all the information as well.
So it'll be very interesting to see what these 2 teams do. Would be disappointing for Team Constantini to have that result. Looking at probably a 3-pointer in the last end and giving up the steal. It's a big swing. That's a 4-point swing.
Absolutely.
We talk about the potential of 5-1 versus 2-2.
I think it's safe to say that the momentum of this game has just shifted into Team Black's favor. And we'll see how Team Italy counterbalances that momentum. Team Black would like to do a shout out to their 2 coaches, Stu and Carol McLean. They've been with this team for many years and helped them through all their successes and their trials. They'd also want to do a shout out to all those who have traveled this year looking after Kendall. That's Carly's 3-month-old daughter. She has more air miles than I have. Just with all the tournaments they're going to.
And she's only August, September, October, November, 3 months old?
3 months old, yeah. And, you know, for the people that have been helping, looking after their daughter, looking after the team, cooking meals, and a few they want to mention is Richard, Jane, and Bryce. So kudos to the greater team that helps this team succeed.
Daddy, Grandma, and Uncle.
Yeah. I know when my kids were younger, you know, my wife and I both curled competitively, and yep, they were at the curling club at the earliest age. The community here is all like family. There was never shortage of people to say, yeah, you go curl your game. We've got this. We'll look after them. So it was always wonderful that way.
fifth end. We talk about usually neither team is big on scoring in the fifth as they line up the second half of the game to have hammer and 6. Constantini with hammer and 5. Roll out there from Julia. On to second stones. Free draw from Carly Everest.
While this rock comes down, I'll give you guys a quick update on sheet 1 between Jennifer Jones / Chelsea Carey. Clancy Grandy did come back with the 2 points in the third end, so after 3 ends it is 4-2 in favor of Jones with the hammer. Sheet 8 between Purcell and Manuel. Manuel took one with hammer, so they are now up 2-1. Purcell has hammer coming home in the fourth end. And on sheet 4, I'm going to rely on you. Oh, no, I can see it now. John Epping in the third end took a big 3-ender. Took a 3-ender in the third end. Now I see he stole one in the fourth, so he is now up 6-1 after 4 ends. John Epping is our defending champion, so he's here to try to repeat. This is our 6th season for the men and our 3rd season for the ladies division. You know, past champions here is Stuart Thompson, Brad Gushu, Glenn Howard, and Scott Howard. So great teams that come to this tournament. So it's wonderful to have this caliber of teams here. On the women's side, we had Suzanne Burt win the inaugural ladies division of the Stu Sells 1824 Halifax Classic, and last year was Caitlin Laws. So it's great to see different teams come here from all different parts of this country and the world.
And neither team participating this year, so we'll have a new women's champion.
Yes, we will.
Epping still in the hunt to defend his title. In the Epping-Fournier game, winner will face Muybrook in the semi tomorrow morning at 10. In the Manuel Purcell game, winner will face Felix Esselin. And of course, the winner of our team, no big deal. Tiranzoni is who they'll meet. And in the Jones-Grandy game, Korea's team Ha. First seed, went 4-0 in the round robin.
Yes, that Sylvana Tiranzoni team from Switzerland, you know, their record speaks for themselves. So the reigning 4-time world championships, and to win that title 4 years in a row is an amazing feat.
I don't think so. Whoa, stop. Not in.
So this end continues to be neat and tidy. No one's looking at pushing the envelope and going offensively. It may have something to do with an odd number end. It might have something to do with the results of the last end and want to just refocus themselves after a couple of misses.
Subtle.
I shall say a couple of uncharacteristic misses.
Yeah, surprising on both of those. I was really surprised more on the first stone, just because they seemed to like it and got the over curl. Was a surprise to the whole team, I think.
And even on the second stone, because they threw a lot of weight, and we know that with up weight the rock does run fairly straight, but
Yeah, just tight.
that did over curl by quite a bit. So I'm going to go out there and say that it was obviously a technical error.
Team Black throwing the guard, trying to lure Constantini into a draw game here. Get the force out of them in the fifth. And they're just playing the peels. No mistake there. Elena Mathis.
And now we're down to skip stones here in the fifth end. Team Black is going to go into the rings. Putting up a guard now just may tempt Stefania to come around it and try to produce 2 points. So at this point, it's It's probably very smart to go into the rings and just blank this end out and then restart with the free guard, no tick rule in the sixth end.
Yeah, it's a bit of a waiting game with curling. You'll play the guard for so long until you think, ooh, my opponent might
Take advantage of it.
get their two if I do this. So,
Yes.
yeah, playing into the rings is good here on skip stones. They want to make sure they get paint. Really important that they're in the top of the house. I think even if it were back house, Stefania wouldn't be freezing on it, but you never want to take that chance. Just get in the top of the rings. Well done. She's saying shoot. Did she want that tight?
Christina is the ultimate competitor, like most of these players out here, and she demands perfection from herself, and with that mindset, that's why she has become so good. That she has worked very hard to be the best that she can be.
It was the interns that overcurled last end. This is an out turn from Stefania. Making sure that sticks around in the rings, and Christina will want that the roll to be to the center and make the blank attempt as hard as possible. This feels a little bit like the first end. Just a repeat. Does the trick. Stefania could hit this on the nose and blank. Don't usually see that.
Yeah, on the nose and blank or roll to the outside. The only thing that she doesn't want to do unless she hits it very thin is roll to the inside. The hitting ability of the Italian team is very, very good, and I've been very impressed this weekend that they can throw a lot of weight very accurately. They haven't licked the brush to this, but they were successful.
They didn't need to.
Didn't need to.
Just good on its own. We'll have a blank in the fifth end. Score won't change. Constantini retains hammer coming into the sixth.
As a long-time sweeper, those are the rocks I love.
Makes you a little nervous, though, right? Like, they haven't asked me to even try. I'm offended. Clean? Can I at least clean? I like hearing that from my players. Can I clean it? I think they just want the reassurance. It's like, oh, you got a quarter.
Well,
it's fine.
it's better than whoa or no.
And the carpet. Can you make it, Carl?
We'd like to thank our partner sponsors for the Stu Sells 1824 Halifax classes. We have the Murphy Hospitality Group, the Prince Edward Island Brewing Company, Crombie Wright, Scotia Square, and the Curling Store. So thank you to all those sponsors. We appreciate your support.
So this is the end we all talk about. The team without hammer wants to get rocks in play, try and steal. The team with hammer love to score in the sixth, so you don't put one in the rings if you're going for that. We get a center guard from Team Black.
Exactly. The tie game, playing the sixth end. The team that scores this end takes control of the game. Has a greater advantage of winning this game in the percentages.
I'm so curious to see how those stats change with the no-tick rule.
I agree. Like right now, well, it's early in the. The men and women used it last year at the Canadians and the Worlds and in their provincial championships for the first year. So it'll be very interesting once they have more data to see does the no-tick rule favor the team without last rock, or does the team with hammer still have a greater advantage?
Corner guard a little tight to the yellow center guard and tight to the rings. It'll be tough to get something around that. And Christina looking for Shelley to come around. No second center guard. Playing the top four shot.
Tough to get around that corner guard with the out turn, but the out turn is still available to them. I watched a game earlier where the team was very successful coming wide around that corner guard. So I missed the call, Selena. Were they calling to come in or calling a high guard?
Top four.
Top four, okay.
Sweeping early to keep the line, but when they realized it was heavy, Christina said, we'll just leave it. We'll try and use that as a second center guard, but now that gives Team Constantini the ability to play that same come around. Julia Lacidelli. This one's curling too. They were a little casual on the curl. Shelley's just took off, but it was light. This one looks much better. They just want it to stop now above the tee line. What a great shot. Looks fully buried. Now the fact that those two guards are so in line might be helping Team Black at this point.
They are, but I thought they might take advantage of that lineup and put a freeze on top of the red rock, and then that would really put them in a, have them control that front of the house.
Yeah, I agree. They just watched it, the path twice. Nose or a hair high.
Because these rocks are very close, the drag effect will come into play.
Good
but
one.
They hit it perfectly, yep, and staggered the guard, so very good result.
Was wondering if that would, the second yellow, if the peel's played, will go into the red. Looks like it might go under. They're all tight to the rings. But access to the forefoot's important for Constantini at this point. Oh, they did touch it. Good shot.
Team Black will still be happy with the situation here.
Makes the end a lot more simple
Yes.
for both teams. Team Black looking for the force or maybe the steal if they can come up with that. I think if we see a guard peel, Christina might tap that yellow stone up right on the nose at some point.
This is where it comes down to the team philosophy. Where do you want to be? You know, you're trying to manage the game when it's so tight like this. To, you know, we're playing the 6th. The 7th is coming up soon. So you're planning. Do you want to be one up without hammer or one down with hammer coming to the last end? So all of those, you know, whatever the team philosophy is, this is where they're starting to plan their attack to try to get that situation that favors them.
Is Angela looking to hit and roll for a corner on this? I think that would indicate that they're going for their 2. Or maybe the soft weight raise. I thought trying to roll for the corner, but it's coming up almost to the nose and won't make contact with the stone in the rings. That's always a risk with that lighter weight.
Absolutely, that was not what they wanted to look for. I think that was the worst case scenario.
Like here. I just don't want to just leave them to run, you know?
I almost think for Christina, you just guard the red stone. Even if Constantini can make a connection with that yellow, you can hit and roll in behind the guards again.
I like this call here, coming just slightly past the red one, just tucked a little bit around it. It makes the run back impossible, but yes, they can make the double peel, but then you can put the guard right back on. With the guard being, if you threw a high guard, they could try to peel them, and like the Italian team could try to peel it, and if they go into the red one, they could run the red one back into the yellow.
Yeah.
And that's one thing they don't want at this point.
Waiting for the curl here. It's not moving yet. There it goes.
The weight looks perfect here. Just trying to get a little bit tucked around. Yeah,
Nice one.
perfect spot. There is no access to the yellow shot rock right now.
Stefania be looking at the double peel here. I think hair high on the red, so you'll lose both and maybe roll your shooter over.
The way the rocks are now, if they want to play it very precise, they could play the red yellow hit and roll the red rock into the rings on the side. But that's a very precise shot.
And it would be with a lower, like a more control weight, you think?
It would be easier with a more control rate. You can make it with a bigger weight, but you have to be that much more precise in where you hit it. There's no room for error.
I don't know that red yellow is ever going into yellow in the rings.
No, looking at the angle that I see, there's not a lot of space, and I don't see that yellow rock ever coming back towards their own yellow rock in the top 4 foot, biting the 4 foot. We do have.
There we go. Julia, just roll into the rings. You have a final, do we?
We do have a final, sheet 4. John Epping, not sure what happened in the 5th end, but handshakes have been given out, and John Epping is still on the path to retain his title as Stu Sells 1824 Halifax Classic champion.
Epping will meet Muybrook tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. in the semifinal in the men's event. So a decision. Playing the out turn versus the in turn. That works. Rolls the shooter for a corner. The raised red didn't stick around. They played a ton of weight at that, making sure both go.
Now the red shooter did stay for a corner guard, which is going to be forcing, if it comes down to a draw to the forefoot, forcing Team Constantini to the out turn only. It's taking away the in turn draw.
Center guard call. Super's calling 2. Halfway guard.
You don't want this too high. You do want this guard to come fairly tight. Because of the amount of curl, if the guard is too high, they will be able, Team Constantini would be able to chase and push the yellow one back and stay in the rings. That's a good distance, so that's a very good shot. However, I think it's slightly under curled where the yellow is exposed, so if Team Constantini wants, they can chase that yellow rock and roll behind that corner guard.
It's a question of how much do you see? It doesn't look like enough, given how tight the guard is.
Yeah, they are playing the run back.
Elena Mathis.
This one was set out a little bit outside of the target broom and did not come up enough.
Awfully close. Rolls for a corner, which feels good until you think about Stefania's last shot, which is most likely going to be a draw.
And with those 2 corner guards, and if Team Black is successful putting up the center guards, that draw path has been shrunk quite a bit to get past those guards to hit the forefoot.
We don't want to get into a debate over what the hardest shot in curling is, but it's probably the guard. No, there's never an answer to that, but these are tricky shots.
You know what? I've talked to many people in this field and in this sport, and everybody has their own little theory on what the hardest shot in curling is.
You're set up perfectly in the house, and you will steal if you make the perfect guard. But there's a lot of shots with accuracy required. Some would say a run back is difficult. This one looks pretty good. They just want to get this at least halfway, though. Not quite as deep as Jen's, but fully covering the stone. Stefania wondering if she just plays the draw now.
Well, she only has 2 rocks left, so if she's looking at scoring a deuce, she has to make a move here now.
We were worried that the draw path would be taken away, but looks like she feels like with back 4 weight, it's there.
Ideally, I'm sure Team Black wanted that guard to be a fair bit tighter to the rings to make this a little bit more difficult.
It's hard to guard the shot stone while still blocking the draw. I think this was always there. But to get buried, it has to be back 4 foot, and then Christina would have the freeze as well. Sweepers aren't minding it yet. They have to wait for it to get by the guard. Going now. That one really finished just a few feet light. Sits open. And it didn't really move the Yellowstone more than a half inch. Still covered. So I think Christina can take the draw path away.
You know, you heard Christina talking about, you know, if you play the nose, they have the blank. If you play a little bit of roll, she has the draw for one. You know, in my opinion, I think the blank is more advantageous for Team Black than it is for Team Constantini. Yes, Stefania will have hammer playing in 7, but if Team Black, you know, can force them to 1 in 7, they come home with hammer 1 down, which I think they will be very happy to be in that situation.
You're okay with the force for 1? It's always interesting because there's opportunities where teams might blank when they could take 1, and a lot of people say they want to score in 6, but it's seems like a conditional score. I want to score if it's 2, but I don't want to score if it's only 1.
You're absolutely right.
And that's usually not an option that you get. But you have to try and line that up sooner in the end.
But as we all know, there's many experts out there, but a lot of the experts, you know, that I've had conversations with, they say taking 1 in the 6th end of an 8-end game or the 8th end of a 10-end game is that control point.
So why wouldn't you take 1? Why would you blank?
As you say, some people like having that.
Oh, that's
hammer.
what you're saying, yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's whatever works for you. So you got a little bit of a roll, but it's open enough maybe for the blank.
I believe it is open enough for, like, I don't think the draw is there for 1, so I think she...
Had to curl a little more to
Yes.
leave the draw there. I don't think there's a choice. If Stefania over curls and sticks the shooter, it would be for the single, but she wouldn't be getting there by drawing.
If we did post-game interviews, that would be my question to Christina. Would you prefer the blank in the 6th or forcing them to 1? No, obviously they would love to steal, first of all. That's a given.
But then maybe you would like to take 1 with hammer, right? Because that's the same as a steal.
Yes, but Christina doesn't have hammer.
Yep.
So my question to her would be, did you prefer, you know, if you can't get the steal, do you prefer the blank or do you prefer forcing them to 1?
Team Constantini's having the same debate as you.
So, you know, I'm going to put you on the spot. You're a skip. What's your preference?
I like scoring. I like scoring, and I like scoring in 6. Try and force and have hammer coming home. And
I agree with you. That's
I
why.
Personally, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking at it from the other side with Christina Black not having hammer. I think she'll be very happy with if a blank was the final result after this end.
Yeah. Or for the same reasons as steal. And that's where I really come from with that is, well, if a steal is good, then a single's okay too, because it's the same position. We're a tie game.
Yes. Yes.
We're saying the same thing.
We are. Just different versions.
If you disagree with us, you should tell us.
Yes, please tell us. I've turned my phone off, so.
Tell me how wrong I am all the time. That's fine.
My other teammates do, so why not everybody else?
So they've made the decision. I don't know what the decision is, but it's tight ice. And based on how hard Stefania kicks out of the hack, we'll know.
Well, with that broom, I expect there's going to be quite a bit of speed on this rock, so I think the blank is in play here.
It was the hop throw, you know, where you kick and you lift your foot, hop over the hack, big weight. Looking for the blank.
They are trying to get this to curl, so was she full on this? She was a little full, and it's a steal of 1 for Team Black.
Again, a little unexpected or a lot unexpected for Team Black, especially as they were looking for the force of the blank there to come up with the steal of 1.
Oh, they're very happy with a steal of 1.
They'll take the lead 3-2 after 6. 2 ends to play. Constantini with hammer in 7 here in this quarterfinal. Do we have any other score updates? I haven't really looked.
Yes, team sheet 1 between Jennifer Jones slash Chelsea Carey. They took 3 points in the 4th end, gave up a single in the 5th. So after 5 ends, team Jennifer Jones is up 7-3 against Clancy Grandy. And on sheet 8 between Owen Purcell and Matt Manuel, it was a steal of 1 in the 4th end by Matt Manuel to go up 3-1. They are started the 6th, and I do see it now. The 5th end was blank, so it is 3-1 after 5 ends.
The winner of Jones Grandy will go on to the semis against Ha tomorrow 10 a.m. And we'll get this 7th end kicked off.
Team Ha is one of our international teams that made their way all the way from Korea to join us, so it's great to see a team coming from the Asian countries.
Yeah, this has been a big event. It's really nice to see. 6 years for the men's and now 3 years for the women's. It's a popular event on the tour. It's a little bit of fun upstairs too, and the Gahan patch at the bar, watching the games. We had a family fun afternoon.
Yes, there's a lot of kids here. It's great to see. They played floor curling. There was face painting. We had a couple of our junior teams that are part of the high performance program helping out with all the festivities. You know, the coloring pages, and I didn't get outside the line once.
I'm so proud of you.
I was proud of me.
You can't hit the line when you curl, so.
You can't be good at everything.
We iced you for that, don't worry.
I always blame the skip that the broom was in the wrong spot, so.
Team Constantini, I think they'd like to carry hammer into the 8th, putting this one in the rings from Julia Lacidelli. Team Black would like to force, but you never want to force so hard that you force the other team to 2. I feel like I say that a lot. It's a good thing to keep in mind. Keep it clean. Need to make contact. Good sweep from Jen. We haven't brought it up yet. I know we keep saying Jen Baxter, but her jacket says Wilson. We had a little surprise this year. Jen got married, and she wants a Wilson jacket, her husband's last name. So she has one.
But she did tell us she still goes by Jen Baxter, so we're confused.
She's trying to be nice.
Oh, I'm confused.
She says it doesn't really matter, but it's nice to have her husband's jacket for the kids.
So Team Black is taking advantage of this rock that went behind the tee line. Their thought process is like, if you can force them to 1, great, it's tied, they have hammer. But even if things don't go right and Team Constantini takes 2 points, I think they're still happy with that situation. They'll be down 1 point with hammer and controlling their fate coming home.
Yeah. Need to get this in the rings. It's slowing down. Moving toward that yellow tight guard. Just a little light there from Carly. It's hard. You don't give your sweepers a chance. You can be light, you can be tight, but you don't want to be both. And the sweepers can't help you all that much. I think that one was just light, just wicked the side. We're past the 5th rock, even though that one's in the rings. On the right side, that tight guard can be removed as well. They're playing the really thin double. Or the hit and roll off. Oh, it's just going to nose.
This is a little full. That might. No,
No,
doesn't
got it
jam in
in.
the back. Yeah, they did get it in.
Got it in. I think that's a good result.
It's a good result, and I think as I see, Christina's just going to ignore that and use that to their advantage and just draw right around.
Yeah, the forefoot's open, and those are staggered guards.
One great thing about Christina is with her communication, it's very clear where your rocks, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable.
Tolerance. I haven't seen a ton of rocks down this side this game.
You will get the finish here. So if the weight is proper, they will be able to get a fairly decent shot of this.
That's at least half buried. What can Angela see? Not super worried about it. Probably going to peel the top. I'm wondering if she can hit this and keep that red one around. Maybe keep a multiple in the possibilities here. They're still going to have to deal with that stone in the button, but moving the top one will help. Yeah, this is a softer weight.
With lots of rotation to get some extra spin off the hit to roll into the rings. Very, very close to making that. So
close, yeah. Little thicker, and I think we'd see 3 reds in the rings.
Yeah. And as expected, Christina's just going to play the hit and roll and stick to the side of the house.
Draw would be a big call. Expect this to be with soft weight. So 11, that's like a board.
We do have handshakes on sheet 1, so Team Jennifer Jones, skipped by Chelsea Carey, was successful over Clancy Grandy of BC. So they've booked their ticket to the semifinals tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. That was a great sweep.
It was curling so hard there was a risk of hitting it.
Undici e mezzo. 11 e mezzo. Devi andare. Devi andare per un po' di roll. Devi andare per un po' di roll. Vai Angie, vai.
That's shot stone on the button. Sorry about that, folks.
Technology is great, and every now and then you have a few difficulties, but they were quickly rectified. I think somebody's trying to tell us that they had enough of our talking.
No, they would tell us to our faces.
Oh, that's true.
Angela was able to remove shot stone. Now Constantini's sitting 2, pretty spread apart. That was why it was important on, I think it was Carly's second. Am I crazy
it's
to leave
very
the shooter?
It's very important that rock stays in the rings, and
Oh
it
no,
has.
it was Jen's.
Was Jen's last rock.
Yeah. That yellow's just
Lei
in.
porterà sicuro. Non andrà
Now
mai
is a little bit
dietro
of
fino al
decision time. If you hit
portaro.
the yellow, you're keeping the 2 alive, but also the blank. You draw around the center, you're going for 2.
A me piace bocciata piuttosto punto laterale. Sì? Esatto, esatto. Ci sta. No, per me no. Io sono... non è che-
That's why it was so important for Baxter's shot to stay in the rings, because if it had rolled out, I would expect Team Constantini just to peel off the yellow center guard and keep the blank in play. But now that it has stayed,
They've decided on the freeze as opposed to the hit.
you know, at this level of play, that is the right call, because that hit and stick, you're only working with about 3 inches of the rings to make a perfect hit and stay without rolling. So you know, there's a lot of room to play the draw to lie your 2 points.
And that's good, deep enough that I think the double would jam.
Exactly. So here we are, skip stones here in the 7th end.
I think Christina could hit that hard enough, thick enough to roll close to that center guard.
Absolutely.
She was looking at the back one. I like this.
As long as she
the
sticks,
force.
as long as she sticks her shooter, it's okay if that that yellow one that's just biting is removed from play.
And like we said earlier, 2's not the end of the world to give up for Team Black.
No.
So keeping that in mind. They'd love the force, though.
The force is ideal, but I believe they'd be happier with giving up a deuce than a blank.
Christina's going to assume Stefania will play the same hit, and then she'll have a roll on her final stone. As we are on skip stones in the 7th end of this quarterfinal in the women's division. Hard to believe. We started play Wednesday morning and been through, what was that, 15 round robin draws?
Yes. 15 action-packed round robin draws.
And wherever he is, Adam, because he's still here behind us. Ice maker Adam McKieran, probably very tired, but ready for the final day of games. Only 2 draws, and it's been fantastic conditions. Adam and his ice crew, big kudos to them. It's just been lovely to watch. This one is curling. Can Shelly hold it? Just.
A little slow right there. Now, così? No. Stare il 6.
So you're in it for the multiples. At this point for Constantini, where's the best place to put this rock? Probably don't want to leave a double.
You don't want to leave a double. You also don't want to, you know, she could go to the open wing on the other side of the house, but if it's not put in the proper spot, that gives Christina a chance to hit and roll under the center line guard and possibly force Team Constantini to a single point.
Yeah, I think she has to go around. Just tuck a piece. Christina will hit the open one.
Rock placement is still very important when you come around the center. If she's ever heavy and goes behind the tee line, you know, that gives Team Black an option to freeze to it. There is some risk involved. If she doesn't make it, it's a possible 3-ender then, a 3-point scored for Team Italy. But
yeah, I find it hard to believe there would be a shot that Christina wouldn't just want to give up a deuce.
no, I agree.
Risk of the 3 might not be worth it here in the 7th. I've been surprised, though, this week. You have to play your own game in curling, but we'll see if Stefania can make this draw here. First of her 2.
Ok, 6 va bene. Spazio. Occhio. Cacciare il 6 sicuro. Sempre là.
They'd like this to be even with the other stone.
Velocità. Angie.
Top 4 foot would be ideal. Looks like they're going to be able to get it there. Oh, stopping just top 8.
Is it sticking out enough for a double?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, absolutely.
Needed to get a little more under.
Absolutely. A little more under or a little deeper to take away this double.
Just watch out the jam, though. Oh, might go over the side.
That's a very difficult jam. You'd have to hit that rock on the high side, the top of that red stone to jam. So this is
Looks more jammable from the straight ahead versus the
yes.
overhead look. Let's see what Christina can come up with here. Even a foot heavier, and this isn't there.
That's now the last few stones for Stefania Constantini, not getting them in that right perfect spot and giving Team Black an opportunity to control this end here. Yes, they are calling the sweep on now. It's close. On, off, on, off.
Makes it.
Great shot. What a change in this end. Forcing Constantini to a single point. At this level, it's so important to put all your rocks in the right spot. Just a half miss can change the whole end right around, and Christina just proved that to how that can happen.
She hit that on the thin side of it, too.
She did.
She could have hit a little thicker, so a little bit of wiggle room there. Good shot. Straight draw for Stefania for the single point here, facing what looks to be 3 yellow counters. Down 1, this would tie it up and needs full 8 foot.
Sembra forte da qua. Sembra parecchio forte. Tanto forte. No.
Sweepers are not cleaning it.
This has some speed to it.
Buona, Steffi.
Christina laying as much as she can on that. And ooh,
Close.
very
Good for the
close.
single. So we have a very tight game on our hands. Tie game, 3-3. 1 end to come. Low likelihood it'll go to an extra.
Very low
Still
likelihood.
possible, but,
absolutely. We want to do a big shout out to our sponsors, our presenting sponsors with Steel Subaru, Neon Train, and the Stu Cells Realty Team, Realty Team, sorry. And our partner sponsors, Murphy Hospitality Group, Prince Edward Island Brewing Company, Crombie Wright, Scotia Square, and the Curling Stores. Thank you to all those wonderful organizations and companies that help support this great game. You know, we were expecting a great game between these two teams. What was my thought process? I thought of.
We've been treated to a great game
treated
so
to
far.
a great game, and it's wonderful.
Some surprises, I would say. A couple surprises.
Yeah, and but that's sports, you know. It's and that's curling.
Team Black has a hammer.
Team Black has the hammer, and they have all the momentum going in. That steal of 6, or sorry, that steal of 1 in the 6th end really changed. Sorry, that steal of 1 in the 4th end to tie up the game really changed the momentum, and Christina Black and their team have been controlling this game ever since.
Team Constantini, they'll need to steal here, so we'll have a center guard, probably 2 up. Team Black, they're not interested in guards. They want a clear path to the 4-foot. This is one of those times where the skip really knows, or the 4th rock thrower knows they're probably going to be throwing a draw. That's what you prepare yourself for.
This rock has a little bit more weight than they were asking for, and there's obviously, because of the extra weight, it's not curling as much. If this is going to be behind the tee line, they want to make sure it gets really deep behind the tee line. So that's deeper than they wanted, but at least it's not behind the tee line, so it does have to be moved to become shot rock for the Italian team. Obviously, they're not going to move it right now. It's way too early.
Constantini, they have outward motion on the releases, so probably calling a little tighter ice than Team Blackwood for the same shot. Just looking for a high guard with this one. Line looks good. They just need it to stop.
Just an update on the only other game going on in the men's semifinal. Team Purcell scored 2 points in the 6th end, so now they are tied even at 3 apiece after 6 ends, playing the 7th, with Team Matt Manuel having the hammer.
Little tighter line. Okay, line's good. Tighter pass, Jen drop. Yep, hard line. Hard line. Okay, hard. Hard. Full four.
This one really moving a lot more. It's lighter, but they'll get a bite of the 4-foot.
Tighter pass.
Leaves the shot stone open though. Constantini loving that stone is on the tee line. It's great backing to come to as we see Angela Ramay. Ramay, I should have asked.
Buona. 6. 8. 8.
Waiting for this one to curl. Looks like it must be a bit heavy.
10,
It does have excess speed. This is going to the back 12-foot, if not through the rings. That was an unfortunate error from the Italian team.
Ok, Henry. Troppa intensità.
So now the cleanup begins.
Clean. Great. Nice throw.
I think Constantini, I know the appeal will be made on the next one, but I think they got to get one in that 4-foot.
We still on, excuse me, we still are on second stones here, so I would still throw one more guard. It is a bit early for them to play the freeze with only a single guard, because if I was Christina Black, I'd be very happy. I've got 5 rocks to come to move everything around.
Yeah.
And open up the path for for her shot for a single, or for a single point. I keep thinking for some reason that they scored 2 last end, but they didn't. They only scored 1. It's
Tie
tied.
game.
It's tied game.
So more of a delay call. No question here. Keep it open. This is the part of the game, Kevin, where you get really excited if you let yourself.
Yes, you really need to keep your emotions in check. Everyone can see the prize at the end of the tunnel, and but that's not what you need to focus on. You got to focus on the process, because that's the only thing you can control.
Elena Mathis. These are so hard to make consistently. They just want to leave this high guard. They've been placing them on the lion up there. The logo. This one's a little deep. Hard to make a double, though. And not leave the shooter or not leave one of the reds.
I think we just take this guy. I see if we try the double, both of them kind of just staying there. I don't really want that.
I was going to explain it, but Christina's doing a great job, so I don't need to do any of the talking.
Yes. Jen, pretty straight down this line, okay? Yep.
We're all in agreement. Single peel. So how late would you wait to plunk that one in the button?
That is a great question. I might be doing it on my, if I was Team Constantini, I think I'm throwing that on my third's last rock.
So before skip stones.
Yes. She's thinking of playing the tap.
On the third's last rock.
Third's last rock.
So the timing is good. So tap to back 8 foot. I like this, the freeze, though. My fear is it can be picked out and then you don't have anything to freeze to.
I like the freeze too. Yes, it can still get split off all over the place, but you still have the draw to the back 4 foot around that yellow rock that's biting the top 4. But by tapping it back, you're just making the shot that much easier for Team Black to remove. Because there is not enough room for the red rock to roll underneath the rock at the top of the rings.
A little heavier than they expected to. Just wanted to push it to back 8
and now
you've given 12.
And you've also given the opportunity. Now there's a little bit room for Team Black, if they throw this perfectly, to get a little bit of roll underneath. It doesn't have to be perfectly buried, even if just showing a half a rock is a very successful result.
It'll jam on the back red, but they're not so worried about that. They're more concerned with having 2 yellow stones in the top of the 4 foot.
Yeah, and in the end, all she's looking for is a clear path to the full 4 foot for her single point. This
one's hanging.
This looks like it's a little more weight than they were calling for.
Nice weight.
Just held straight, a little extra outward pop on release, sounds like. So Stefania's got the draw. Try and place this top button.
Here we go, down to skips, rocks, 8th and all tied up. Couldn't ask for anything better, could you?
No, and there's rocks in play. We've got a center guard. We've got top 4 foot that's going to be used as a guard.
Buona. Dove?
There's a good potential Stefania will have to throw the same shot
Deve essere almeno
on
più
her
di
next
destra
if this
che
isn't
avanti.
perfect.
Siamo tanto larghi. No, no, giù, giù.
Good to get a good feel for it. They're switching to curl.
Giù, giù.
Weight looks good.
Vai, Andy, fino alla fine. Ancora un po', ancora un po', ancora un po', ancora un po'.
Just taking it a little bit deep. Got a piece under. So can Christina just freeze?
I think I just hit and roll away and let her try the draw again. And then I'm going to have the draw. For her to get buried, I'm going to have the draw.
Excuse me.
I like the thinking though. I tend to agree. Just make it go away. Make you have a top 4 foot biter. Make the other team make a great shot.
Absolutely. The freeze is, well, I wouldn't call the freeze. I would just draw to the top of the button. So if they, 4-shot stone, it doesn't have to be fully buried, fully frozen, but that's fine if it is. It's a great shot if you make it. It's
Perfect.
It's not great if you don't make it.
If you're light, it's pretty bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even if we roll out the side.
Yeah, I agree with this. I think it's tempting to freeze.
And and if for some reason she is tight and peels off the guard, that's not a bad result either, because
Exactly.
I would expect Team Constantini would have to play the freeze because she can't guard both rocks, the yellow one in the top 4 foot and the one behind the button. So, Team Constantini would have to make a spectacular shot in her last one as well. But ideally, you don't want to hit the guard. You want to remove the rock in the back of the button.
We've seen some peels down this path too, so they should know it. This one's moving. Hard to get by the guard.
Oh, rub their own yellow.
I almost said, well, the yellow is over buried from the guard, so it's very, very unlikely to catch that yellow if you miss the red. I can't believe that.
Now, thankfully, the yellow didn't go too far, and that rock could play an important role for her 1 point.
So for Stefania, what's the best place to put this? Because you have to steal
I like biting the button, top of the button,
right where the broom is.
right where the broom is. Yep. You could go with either turn, but the intern's easier. She just threw that, so
Yep.
she knows the path and the weight. But it is important to slightly over curl where the rock is at the back of the button.
I still can't believe that hit the yellow. That was
This is the time where I wish we
Wild.
had replay.
Yeah. All right. Sitting 1. Stefania Constantini's last shot. 8th end, 1 to come for Team Black. She's looking to lock down the button with a nice draw here. Sweepers jumped on it right away. Now taking a bit of a break. Coming in nicely for line. Might have to curl a bit. Now going hard for top 4.
Just a little bit lighter of where they wanted it.
So Christina, does she have the 2 options, the double?
She has the double. She has
Or the slash?
She has a tap with the yellow stone, or there is room to get between that yellow and red one on the top 4 foot and draw right to the pin if she wants as well with the out turn. But she is really focusing on this double. She just threw the rock down in this pass, so she has seen how it reacts.
Stefania wanted that one about a half rock past or across the center line, so this shot wouldn't be available.
She can see just all of it, maybe a fraction of an inch less than the entire stone. All she would need to hit is about 3/4 of that stone, maybe even 2/3 would be enough, and that should move those 2 reds far enough to count that yellow rock over on the side of the side of the 8 foot.
So big weight double from Christina Black, looking to promote her team through to the semifinals tomorrow against Silvana Tiranzoni. Needs to get both these reds out of the 4 foot, or it'll be Constantini moving on. Here we go.
She needs to be close to the center line to make this happen. Not quite. Oh, what a great attempt. That was a great game. Right down to the last rock.
So congratulations, Team Constantini, with a steal of 1. They'll take the game 4-3 over Team Black, ending their run here and move on to the semifinal tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yes, so quick update before we sign off. Team Matt Manuel did pick up 2 in the 7th end, so they are up 2 without hammer. In the 8th end, Team Owen Purcell has the final stone. Before we sign off, once again, thanks to Stu Sells Realty team for being the title sponsor for the Stu Sells 1824 Halifax Classic. Thank you, Neon Train, and also thank you to Steel Subaru as our title sponsors. Selena, it was a wonderful time chatting with you for these last 2.5 hours.
Thanks again, Kevin.
What a great game to call. Congratulations to both teams, even though one has to call it the end of their tournament, but they both played fantastic. Thank you, everybody.
Cheers for now.
Ciao. Bye-bye.